Campbell here with Hawg Powersports. Today we're going to introduce our full lineup of ATVs. This is going to all be from the Cougar family. We're going to start with the 125's and go all the way up to our 250's. We're going to have sport and utility, and we're going to go all the way up to our racing style. Follow me as we go into our 125's here. All right guys, this is going to be our 125 utility. It's called the Extreme 125 from Cougar Cycles. This is going to be pretty much everybody's starter bike. It's going to come with several safety features that we'll go over. Talk about the specs real quick. If you bring the screw all the way out and ungovern it, it's going to go almost up to about 30 miles an hour. So you're getting a lot of punch out of this thing. It's going to have 19-inch wheels, so you're not going to be getting stuck on roots and that kind of stuff. It's going to have a forward, neutral, and reverse. No other gears, but forward, neutral, and reverse. So it makes it really simple for an entry-level rider. One of the safety features that's most prominent on this, along with our other 125s, is going to be the remote kill switch. This allows someone, a parent, guardian, or whatever, whoever's watching that beginner, to be able to actually control this in the event that somebody gets out of hand. They can just simply press the lock button, shut the bike off, and they can do that anywhere from within about 100, 150 yards. It's a very unique feature that a lot of mainstream, major brands don't even carry. And we think that it's awesome that all of these bikes come standard with it. Additionally with that, we're also going to have a kill switch, which is tethered. In the event that the rider does fall off, that kill switch is going to then cut the bike off, ensuring that there's no other harm done to that rider in an unfortunate scenario. Now these bikes can all be governed. They all have a screw, just like any of the four-wheelers that we offer. They're all going to be able to be governed down all the way to 0 miles per hour and all the way back up to about 30 and anywhere in between. So this allows someone who's going to be overseeing this new beginner rider to be able to really control the level in which they grow as they become more experienced rider and really become one with that four-wheeler. This utility model typically is a lot more of the people who live in the country, the rural areas, stuff like that. They tend to like this one because they often grow up hunting in the outdoors. They might want to put things on the front rack or rear rack as opposed to just kind of riding, which we find a lot of other people do. You're going to have drum brakes on the front of this bike. It's going to be on the hand lever here, and then you're going to have a disc brake on the rear, which is hydraulically driven, and that's going to be a foot brake. Allows the rider to always keep hands on the steering wheel and be able to use that foot that's not going to be shifting it, forward, neutral, and reverse, to be able to have that free to brake at any point in time. This is the Extreme 125 from Cougar Cycles, available at Hawg Powersports. All right guys, this is our 125 Sport here. They call it the Extreme Sport from Cougar Cycles. This is going to be very similar to our 125 Utility, where it's going to have a top speed of about 30 miles an hour if you ungovern it, and you can govern it all the way down to 0 miles per hour. It's going to have the same safety features where you have a keyless or a remote here on your key to be able to shut the vehicle off from anywhere from around, real close to you all the way up to about 150 yards. There's a few big differences on this bike. This is going to be, it's not going to have a front rack like the other one, and the rear rack is going to be much smaller. It has a tapered fender line. Now this is going to be something that a lot of the people, typically closer to the city, they really like. People who just want to go out and ride, don't really have any use for it in the woods, that kind of thing. But it's going to also be a little bit different for a bigger rider. And what I mean by that is it's going to have a higher seat to floorboard range, about 2 more inches extra. So a taller rider is going to be able to fit into this bike just a little bit better. Overall, going to be the same engine. It's going to have the same frame. Everything's going to be set up the same. It's more about the rider preference. The 125 Sport is probably our most popular. 125. It just seems that kids love that this thing looks like it's super fast, and it's a blast to ride for sure. Here it is, our 125 Sport from Cougar Cycles. All right guys, we're here looking at both the utility and the Sport 125 together, just to go over a couple little differences here. You're going to have wider plastics on this utility version, which is going to offer a little more coverage from mudslinging up and that kind of thing, versus the tapered fender that you see here on the 125 Sport. One of the biggest differences though, in a sense of comfort for the rider, is going to be the seat height to the floorboard. You'll notice this is actually a little further down than you get over here on the utility version. It's as if they make this to go through the woods and be able to kind of go over logs and that kind of stuff. A little more than this is going to be more set up for the dirt road and that kind of thing. The real difference in that is all there. That's about it. Everything else is going to be the same spec. It's going to stop in the same distance. It's going to go the same speed. These 125s are our most popular seller. As most of you know, Hawg Powersports is a place for beginners. It's a place where we love to teach and get people out into the outdoors and get into riding. But these 125s are the best place that you can start. Sport 125 and Utility 125, Hawg Powersports. All right guys, here we've got our 200cc Sport from Cougar Cycles. This bike is going to be an automatic bike. It's going to be kind of your next level up. Let's say you've had your 125, or maybe you're just a little older or a bigger person. This is going to be a great beginner bike. It is automatic, so there's no gears to really worry about. All you're going to be doing is shifting this lever here, which will go forward, neutral, and reverse. And then it's got a CVT transmission, which is constantly variable is what that means. And it'll allow you to have some low end torque and then also get to high speed without ever having to do anything. It just does it itself. This bike is going to run about mid-30s, high to mid-30s. It's going to be, a very economy-based type thing, so it's going to be budget-friendly for you for sure. It's going to feature a few things. You've got headlights, brake lights, of course, the standard on any of our ATVs here at Hawg Powersports. But it's going to have a manual choke, and it's going to be able to be governed up here, just like all our ATVs, with a screw. Now these do not have a remote shutoff, as they're made for bigger riders. They're intended for full-grown adults probably, but due to their size. These bikes are great for just riding around, maybe a large piece of property you have, down some dirt roads, that kind of thing. They're really a best all-around, budget-friendly, no-frills kind of sport bike. The V-Moto 200 Cougar Cycles here at Hawg Powersports. All right guys, we're here with the 200cc V-Moto utility style from Cougar Cycles we sell here at Hawg Powersports. This is going to be very comparable to the 200 Sport. It's really just going to be a different body. So, mid to high 30s, top speed, governable, just like all the other ATVs, headlights, tail lights, and a fully automatic CVT transmission. One of the things to remember about these is they have a solid axle, which means you'll always be in true two-wheel drive. So that is added comfort when you are in the woods on your utility style ATV. These are going to have a little higher floorboard because it is designed to go into the woods than the Sports are. They're just going to be kind of great around the farm, maybe some land that you have. But they're really going to be kind of a best all-around beginner and intermediate style ATV. These are available at Hawg Powersports. It's probably our second best seller, as everybody who graduates from those 125s tends to come right back and move on up to these 200s when they're ready. The Cougar V-Moto 200 utility from Hawg Powersports. Here we've got the Pentora 200 EFI racing style ATV, also a Cougar Cycles bike. This is going to be my personal favorite bike. It does feature the same GY6 engine that you'll find in our 200 Sport and 200 Utility. However, the fuel injection just completely changes the game. This bike is incredibly responsive. It is just ready there as much as you want. It's going to be the bike where you can just cut donuts all day long. So it has a much thicker frame. The overall fit and finish is just, it's just phenomenal here compared to really to anything in our industry. It's also going to have disc brakes on the front and the rear, allowing much quicker stopping power. It's really built to kind of handle those tight turns. The overall suspension is far upgraded from any just standard overall, any day kind of 200 ATV. This bike is a high quality, next level, not your everyday 200. This is the Pentora 200 EFI. Hey guys, Pentora 250 here from Cougar Cycling. This is a boss. This is a 250cc racing style ATV, 4 speeds and a clutch. Now, there's a lot of you out there that like to really rev them up, ride your wheelies, catwalk as some of you call it. This is the bike that you're looking for. This is the bike when you know how to ride. You're not a newbie, you're absolutely an expert. You want something to play around on, something with a clutch so that you can play all your little tricks and have fun, but you still have a budget in mind. This bike is what you're looking for. This one can really be opened up. It's not going to be a 700 Raptor or something like that, but you're going to really roll down the road. It's going to be featuring the disc brakes on the front and the rear, just like the Pentora 200. It's going to have some really upgraded suspension on this. This bike is really meant to take a beating. The overall fit and finish on this, much like the 200, is just out of this world. These are great bikes for somebody who wants to really get after it, somebody who's the donut king, who likes to really walk the wheelies, who likes to jump the jumps. This bike's going to handle it, but it's going to do it in a small frame, 250 cc's, tons of torque. This is the bike you're looking for if you're really wanting to get out there and do a little beginning racing or just expert playing around trick bike. Pentora 250 from Cougar Cycling.